Watching pro wrestling events live comes with the extra excitement that truly anything can happen. In-ring botches, crazy mistakes, and hilarious moments all combine to create some of the craziest WWE bloopers. Thanks to various outlets like the WWE Network, these bloopers will live on forever and act as embarrassing moments for stars like Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and The Undertaker. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of new content. Randy Orton falls through announcer's table. Many people are used to Randy Orton delivering an RKO out of nowhere, but in this instance he had a major fall come out of nowhere. During a SmackDown Live street fight against Kane, Orton and the Big Red Machine took their battle to the outside of the ring. As they brawled, Kane decided to tear off the top of the announcer's tables and send the monitors flying. Orton quickly turned the tables by standing atop the table and blasted Kane with multiple punches. Kane went reeling and Orton took his next step, then things go wrong. Orton actually stepped onto the table openings for the video monitor. As Orton sunk down into the hole, he fell forward and pulled the table down with him. Always the quick thinker, Orton pretended to have a crazy knee injury until he got up, laughed it off, and proclaimed he was perfectly fine. It's fun to laugh at now, but this could have been a complete disaster for the superstar with a potentially torn ACL or broken bones. His recovery was quick enough to get back in the match and seal his victory against Kane. The Shield falls flat. The Shield tried to be a unique faction in the WWE. They wore bulletproof vests, invaded matches, and always entered through the roaring WWE crowds. When you change up the traditional WWE entrance, you're also adding a little risk along the way. There's crowd interference, unfamiliar arenas, and the large barrier the members of the Shield had to jump over every time they entered for a match. During an episode of WWE Raw, the Shield made their way out to confront Daniel Bryan. As Bryan waited in the ring with a steel chair, the Shield reached the barrier where they needed to hop over. Dean Ambrose made it over with ease and had the United States Championship around his waist. Seth Rollins followed, but it wasn't as easy for him. His shoe got caught on one of the barrier mats. Rollins instantly slipped, fell, and hit his head on the ground as the mat fell as well. Rollins tried to stand up and quickly recover, but he had to throw a short-term tantrum first. Thankfully for Rollins, the production crew cut to a wide shot just before it happened, or else the big blooper would have been front and center. Breaking the Lucha tradition. Lucha wrestlers are known for wearing masks, and it's a huge tradition for them to never reveal their face. You would think Alberto Del Rio would know this. He didn't wear a mask in the WWE, but the superstar had a long family history of lucha wrestling, and many of them wore masks for their whole careers. This is why it was pretty shocking to see Del Rio unmask a fellow luchador on an episode of WWE Raw. During the match, Del Rio was taking on Kalisto. Both men ended up near the top turnbuckle where Del Rio took advantage. After pounding on Kalisto's skull, Del Rio yanked up his chin and accidentally took the mask with it. Kalisto's face was revealed to the WWE Universe in all its glory. The HD camera showed a clear view of his face for multiple seconds until Del Rio realized the mistake he made. He then attempted to put the mask on his foe in an awkward move which took several seconds. He actually had to break character to help with the mask, taking away from the competition in the match. Kalisto eventually got his mask back on, but it was too late as the live gaffe couldn't be reversed. The Undertaker stalls for time. The Undertaker has gone through many transitions as the Dead Man, and one of the more controversial was his time as the American Badass. During this period, The Undertaker ditched the funeral parlor clothes for biker clothes and lived the part of a true biker. Typically known for his long entrances, The Undertaker sped his up a little during this time by riding a motorcycle to the ring for a majority of his matches. Unfortunately for Taker, his bike didn't always act the way he wanted it to. The worst case of this happening was at the 2003 Vengeance pay-per-view. During the event, The Undertaker took on a young John Cena. As John Cena waited for his veteran opponent, The Undertaker came roaring out on his bike and stopped in the middle of the stage. This is when the bike decided to stall. The Undertaker tried to play it cool as he tried to restart the bike. He even said a little prayer as Cena huffed and puffed inside of the ring. After a minute or so, The Undertaker gave up on the bike and had to walk his way down to the ring. At least he ended up winning the match. Sycho Sid's shaving cream. WWE has had a long list of talk shows featuring WWE Superstars, but one of the most bizarre may have been Brutus the Barber Beefcake's Barber Shop. It seemed like any superstar that stepped onto the set of the show ended up wreaking havoc and causing destruction. One of the most infamous examples of this came when Shawn Michaels threw Marty Jannetty through the huge barbershop glass window. While that scene was iconic, Sycho Sid once visited the talk show set and created a little unintentional carnage of his own. It's not the first time Sid would look like a fool. In the memorable clip, Sid decides to take a chair and start destroying everything in the barbershop. As Brutus runs away from the madness, Sid continues to destroy items. During one part, he unleashes the chair on a shelf of products including shaving cream. The can of cream explodes open and sprays all over Sid's face. Not missing a beat, Sid turns to the camera to showcase the craziness of what had just happened completely by accident. It was a great way to end the scene and add a little unpredictability to the moment. Watching the scene in slow motion can really showcase how fast and furious the shaving cream went exploding out of the can. Don't worry, we have plenty more bloopers where that came from. But first, a trivia question. Stay tuned until the end for an answer. Sid's shaving cream incident wasn't the only time he messed up in pro wrestling. Can you name the WCW superstar that debuted and notoriously tripped when he was supposed to confront Sid and become his new rival? Zack Ryder's naked match. Zack Ryder rose through the single ranks in the WWE on their former weekly show ECW. During this time, Ryder feuded with many superstars including the Hurricane and Christian. He also had to showcase his skills against a number of jobbers. In a match originally seen by very few and then became internet lore, one of the local wrestlers, Ryder, took on the name of Rory Fargo. Fargo was beat around for most of the match, and then suddenly there was a rushed finish. As Zack Ryder was beating him in the corner, Rory's tights burst open at the seam. His naked body was exposed and he had to use his hands to cover himself up. Ryder, trying to avoid the naked wrestler in the ring, performed a modified version of his finisher and then quickly pinned the guy. As the guy lay flat on the mat, he kept both hands over his private area to prevent anything from getting shown on camera. This was one of the craziest wardrobe malfunctions ever to air in WWE history. Zack Ryder still laughs about the story today and has told it on multiple podcasts and the animated WWE Network show WWE Storytime. Matt Hardy becomes broken. Matt Hardy's journey to become broken may have started long before his time in TNA wrestling. While still a member of the WWE roster in 2010, Hardy served as a pro during the first season of NXT. The rookie he managed was Justin Gabriel, another high flyer with a similar style to Hardy's. Gabriel started accompanying Matt to the ring, but maybe he was just used to being alone after breaking up with Jeff in years prior. During an episode of WWE Superstars, Hardy was doing his signature pose on the ring ropes when he completely flipped over and landed outside the ring. The reason he fell is completely Gabriel's fault. Gabriel was also leaning on the ropes, making them much looser for Hardy to hang on to. Hardy played it off with a smile, but you could sense something ticking in his brain. Something may have been broken right then and there. The duo actually had pretty good success as a tag team, but not much happened with the two after the season of NXT ended. Maybe Matt couldn't get over his embarrassing fall out of the ring. At least it was only WWE Superstars and not too many people saw it live. AJ Lee clobbered in the throat. AJ Lee formed alliances with a lot of superstars during her tenure in the WWE, but none may have been more successful than when she joined with Dolph Ziggler and Big E. The trio dominated a lot of matches, had great chemistry, and helped lead to Big E's rise before he officially joined the New Day. It's too bad a blooper almost caused the trio to break up on the spot. During an episode of WWE Raw, Big E was making his entrance for a singles match as Ziggler and AJ followed close behind. While getting amped up for the match, Big E swung his hand out and walloped his giant forearm right into the chest and throat of AJ. The move hit so hard it knocked her back a little bit. You can see the look on Big E's face and how bad he felt about doing the move. AJ managed to stay in character, smile it off, and continued her walk to the ring. At a book signing years later, AJ brought up the incident, saying she spent a week giving Big E about it and talked about the multiple problems it caused her. In reality, she credits a padded bra for adding extra protection and preventing any true damage. The three-man band hits a wrong note. It's pretty funny to look back at the three-man band's origin and see how far they've come today. Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship on the SmackDown brand. Drew McIntyre came back to NXT and won the championship there. Heath Slater stuck around the WWE and won the Tag Team Championship by teaming with Rhino. While together as a faction, they were mostly forgettable unless you cheered for them for the lulz. Even their on-air interviews were featured on the WWE app instead of the actual program. During one of these app interviews, the team was joined by WWE superstar Hornswoggle to promote an upcoming match. The live interview was botched when Hornswoggle said El Torito's name wrong, calling him El Toro. Heath Slater decided to tease Hogglesworth and then requested to start the segment over until they were all informed it was live. This is when the hilarity began. Slater snuck back and set piece, Jinder Mahal froze in place, and Drew made funny faces. Then they all left Tom Phillips there with nothing to do. The live blooper was a pretty funny segment showcasing how good the three-man band could have been if they were given more airtime. Baron Corbin falls off ring apron. So Baron Corbin's stock has been in freefall lately, but he should be used to falling. Corbin has won both the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale and the Money in the Bank match only to fail to capitalize on the big wins. Maybe it's because of a few mistakes made along the way. In the build-up to the 2016 Survivor Series, Corbin was walking along a ring apron on SmackDown Live when he slipped and fell to the arena floors. He hobbled and hopped, claiming to have popped his knee out. This moment was rumored to be a storyline fall, but there's no denying another blooper that took place during a WWE live event. While it didn't air, when else are we going to talk about this? Corbin had the chance to wrestle in a triple threat WWE Championship against AJ Styles and John Cena. During one point in the match, Cena was outside the ring while Styles and Corbin tussled on the top rope. AJ Styles made a misstep which sent Corbin flying out to the arena floor instead of down into the ring. The whole fall looked messy and similar to his SmackDown incident. Thanks for watching. Now for your trivia answer. The Shockmaster made his terrible debut in WCW when he tripped through the set and tried to confront Sid. The moment became the laughingstock of the wrestling world. Wow, there you have it. Which bloopers do you think are the best, and which ones did we miss? What's your favorite type of wrestling blooper? Harmless in-ring ones or promo slip-ups? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Sportster on YouTube so that you can stay up to date with our awesome videos.